Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate our next packet tracer activity 13.2.7. Here, I'm going to show you how to use both the ping and traceroute utilities to test network connectivity for both IPv4 and IPv6 networks. Before I start, let me please tell you that you need to download packet tracer version 8 for opening up all the new packet tracer activities and also for your PTSA exams. The link for the packet tracer version 8 is provided in the comments section. So this is the NetAcad page where you find the link to download this packet tracer activity. So 13.2.7. Now you click the download option here. Then once you downloaded the packet tracer version 8 and installed it on your systems, you will get this option automatically open with. Just click OK. You should be able to check it out. This is the new packet tracer, which looks like this. It comes with a small, it looks good actually. And once you open this, you can also find your questions and topology in this particular manner. You can actually tinker with this also. There is no big issue. But for this, I'm going to continue with this topology and with the same setup that what you see over here. Okay. So let me just go through the questionnaire here. Once again, we have the, let me just drag this to the middle so that you will have a better option. And again, if you see here, there is an addressing table given, which you should be able to see clearly what it is, saying that it has given you there are 3 routers, R1, R2, R3, and there are 4 PCs. The information about the PCs is kept blank here. So we need to find it out. And it is saying the objectives are test and restore the IPv4 connectivity, test and restore the IPv6 connectivity. Okay, so let me see what we are going to do here step by step. I always tell you to do it in the same manner. So it makes it easier for you, and it also ensures that you don't miss a particular step. Okay, so let me start with the instructions. It is saying that test and restore IPv4 connectivity. So our part 1 is going to deal with how do we restore. Well, first we have to check whether IPv4 connectivity is there or not, and if it's unsuccessful, what are we going to do about it? Okay, fine. Now it is asking me click PC1 and open the command prompt. So here is my PC1. I'm clicking on it and I'm just opening the command prompt. Let me just drag this to a little bit so that you can see it clearly. Now it is asking me to enter ipconfig all. So ipconfig /all. Enter. Now it gives you a vast amount of information over here. It is going to tell you a lot of info, what it looks like, what it does. And if you see, and it is actually asking me to write these things down. It is asking me complete the addressing table with the IPv4 address, subnet mask, and default gateway. Where do you get this information? Once you type in this command, those are straightforward what you're looking at. So your IPv4 address of PC1 is 10.10.1.98. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.224, and the default gateway is 10.10.1.97. I suggest each and every one of you have a pen and pad with you to write these things down, because when you're trying to troubleshoot the network connectivity, you have to make sure that all these addresses are configured properly. There is always a chance that you might oversee some misconfigurations if you are trying to remember the numbers. It doesn't work in that manner. So if I were you, what I would do is just type this table up, or just draw a table like this on your paper and fill this information regarding PC1 over here. Just write down the IPv4 address here, just write down the subnet mask here, and give the default gateway information here. Okay, so after that, what it is asking me to do is do the same thing on PC3. So let me just minimize this and go to PC3. So on this PC3, once again, I need to enter the command prompt, type the same thing, ipconfig /all. So all that information is being displayed now. So what is being displayed? You can check it out here. What is being shown here is the IPv4 address is 10.10.1.18, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.240, and also the default gateway is 10.10.1.17. This information must be placed in this particular address table at PC3. So I have both the address configurations for PC1 and PC3 in the IPv4. Now it is asking me, fine, if everything is there, just use the ping command to test connectivity between PC1 and PC3. So for that purpose, what I'm trying to do here is I'm just copying the PC3's IPv4 address and I'm trying to ping it from PC1. So let me try to ping it from PC1. Okay, to ping it, I just need to type in ping. Let me see if PC1 and PC3 are able to talk to one another. Now it is saying destination host is unreachable. It says it is unreachable. So there is no connectivity or there is some issue with the connectivity. So how do you troubleshoot this connectivity issue? Is we have another utility that we studied in this particular module, which is called as traceroute. So how to use that? Let me go to PC1 again and let me see trace R and just paste in the PC3's IPv4 address. Now, if you see what is happening here is this traceroute is showing to me that it is actually going only one. You are clearly getting only one IP address over here. It says 10.10.1.97. It's not going further. If you leave it like this, it keeps on going for some time. So in order to break the traceroute, you know that there is some issue. It is not going beyond. So what is 10.10.1.97? Go to your addressing table. You see this is the interface address, G0 by interface address of R1. That means your packets are not going beyond this R1. There is some issue that is to be sorted out. So what I will do is I will just stop this traceroute, press Ctrl C there. It will come out of the traceroute and let me see what it is asking me. Yes, so that is gone. From PC1, enter the necessary command to trace the route to PC3. Yes, I did that. What is the successful IPv4 address? That is 1.97. Okay, so 30 attempts. It will eventually end after 30 attempts. But if we want to break it even before that, just press Ctrl C. This is what just I did. Some from PC3, enter the same command to PC1. So if I go to PC3 and what is PC1's IP address, I need to check here. If you write them down, it will be with you. What is the PC1's IPv4 address? This is the PC1's IPv4 address. So let me copy that, go to PC3 and let me type in trace up space PC1's address. Enter. It's showing F, it is going till 10.10.1.17 and after that it is not returning anything. What is this 10.10.1.17? Which is the R3's G0 by 1 interface. That means the packets are only coming until here. So there must be an issue between this particular path. So let us see how do you find what the issue is. Okay. So once again, I have found out that both pings or both the trace routes are not working. Let me stop this to Control C. Okay, fine. It is asking me now. Let us see what we need to do. Click on R1. Let's start step-by-step procedure. Click on R1 and after clicking on R1, check out the password. So it is, if you study the scenario here, it says all the devices, the user executing password is Cisco and the privileged executive mode password is class. So the first thing I had to do is Cisco, enter, enable, and the next thing is class. There I can enter into the user privileged mode, privileged executive mode. Okay. Once I enter into that, it is asking me to enter the show IP interface brief command. So let me go there on R1 and let me type in show IP interface. Let me use tab brief command, enter. Now if I were you, in order for me to check, I will just check these numbers into the addressing table. That's the easiest way of doing it. You see R1 G0 by 1 1.97, it's the same address, so that's right. Similarly, R1 S0 by 0, it's a serial interface S0 by 0 by 1, and if it is done properly or not. Yes, both are done properly. These are the two IP addresses that are with R1. That's what it is asking me actually here to do too. See, enter the what is the other one? You already know, which is 10.10.1.97. What is the other address? The other address is 10.10.1.6, which is the answer for this. Now it is asking me to type in show IP route. Show IP route. Do that. And it is asking me, note that there are two networks connected to the same serial 00 by 1 interface. Yes, you can see them too. If you see here, this is what? This is the interface of serial 0 by 0 by 1 interface. And there are two networks, .4 and .6. So these are the two networks, what there. And it is asking me to do the same on R3 also. Let me do it on R3 too. R3 also, what I need to do is I need to open this up and let me see. This password is once again Cisco enable class and show IP interface brief. Let me press on tab, enter. So once again, I have got two IP addresses, 1.17 and 1.10. If I were you, I would check this against the addressing table, G0 by 1, G0 by 1, 1.17. Yes, that's there. Here it says S0 by 0 by 1, and it says 10, 1.10. Yes, that's what I got. So those two are also configured in the right way. So it's also asking me to show IP route. Once again, with this router, there are two networks that are connected to the same serial interface. The same thing, you just need to write these things down. Now it is asking me, fine, if there is no issues with these two, let's proceed on to R2, press enter and log into the router. So press on R2. Once again, you open R2, you see, go inside. Once again, press Cisco, enable, and class. It is asking me, show IP interface brief. Press enter. Now there are two values here, 1.2 and 1.9. Let me see if they are the right ones or not. Yes, see, there is a mistake here. In serial 0 by 0 by 0, it's configured 10.10.1.2, where it must have been configured 10.10.1.5. This is the error. That is the reason these pings are not going, because the serial interface S0 by 0 by, for this is the S0 by 0 by 0 interface of R2. This is misconfigured. It's not configured with the right IP address. So what we need to do is, you need to remove that IP address and assign it in the latest way. So for that, what I usually do is, I will first need to enter into the global configuration mode, configure terminal, and after that, interface, which is the interface which I not to change, 0 by 0 by 1, no, 0 by 0, my mistake, 0 by 0, yes, which is the one which I need to change. So it's already there, some IP address, so I need to remove that. 10.10.1.2 space. What is the subnet mask that is written there? 255.255.255.250. Now I need to enter my IP address, which is the right one. IP address which I should be entering is 10.10.1.5. So IP address 10.10.1.5 space the same 255.255.255.250. Okay, so there is no adjacency, everything is fine. You need not type in no shutdown because it's already up and running. I have changed the IP address. Now if we need to check whether this is the right thing or if there are any errors, once again I have to run the ping from PC1 to PC3. So I need to check now if the ping goes up. Now I'm trying to ping from PC1 to PC3. The ping is sending back the reply. It says absolutely fine. Now what if the same thing happens with R3 or not? Whether R3 can reach, whether PC3 can reach PC1 or not. So ping 10.10.1.98. Enter. The ping is working. That means now PC1 and PC3 are able to talk to one another. You have found that one of this interface of R2 is not configured properly, or it is configured with a wrong IP address. We have used both traceroute and ping utilities to trace where the problem is. We first check with ping whether the network connectivity is there or not, and after verifying that there is a problem with the network connectivity, then we decide to use the traceroute utility to verify where the problem is happening. We both saw that R1 and R3, the pings are coming in R1 and R3. After that, there is an issue with this particular path. So we went into R2, and once when we checked it, we have absolutely found that there is an issue with the network address. So let me continue with the next part. So I think we completed the IPv4 part. Yes. So implement the plan. Now it is restored. Everything is solved. So step 5 is also done. PC1 is able to ping PC3, and PC3 is able to ping PC1 also. It's done. Now try to restore IPv6 connectivity. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close PC3 and PC1 now, because we are no longer going to use them, and we are going to use PC2 to PC4, because if you see here in the topology itself, it's clearly mentioned that it's IPv6 client, and PC1 and PC3 are IPv4 clients. Okay. So this is the same procedure once again what we did here. Let's click on PC2 and open the command prompt. Okay, click on the command prompt. What it is asking me to do is, it is now asking me to type in IPv6 config /all. This is the way to find out the IPv6 address. So please make sure once again you have to fill the details in this particular addressing table. For PC2, what you need to write down is this is here for your IPv6 address. This is your IPv6 address in PC2, and the default gateway which should be written down here is this FE:1. So please write down these two values in PC2, and similarly let's do it for PC4 also. We need to do the same checks. Once again, what we need to do is, yes, I'm expanding it for clear view. What you do is IPv6 config /all. Enter. See, this is your IPv6 address and this is your default gateway address. Write these two values in this addressing table. So both we found out, and let me see what's next. If you see here, what's next is, now if you fill this, your addressing table should look like this. Should look like this, PC1s and PC2s, all those things. Okay, it should look like this once you fill all the details. Now let me go back. So it is asking me, I did this, it is asking me to ping PC2 to PC4. So let me open PC4. Let me just paste the PC4's default gateway is this and IPv6 address is this. So let me just copy the IPv6 address and let me try to ping it from PC2 and ping, paste it, enter. Come on, let's see if it is going to ping PC4 or not. No, request timed out. We have to wait for some more time. Just trying to see if it is able to reach it or not. Request timed out. No, I don't think so. Ping is working. So there is some connectivity failure. So similarly, the next thing what I need to do is, now I need to trace the route from PC2 to PC4. So similarly, what I'm going to do is trace route and paste. Okay, it's actually gone through 3 different hops. So let me check what is the last hop is. 3. This is the address. This is the one. So 3:2. So this is R3's serial interface. That means the packet from PC2 has moved until R3. It has reached here. It has reached this interface, and after that it's not going through. So there must be some issue in this particular part of the network. So let me confirm that. Let me stop this here. Okay, and let me copy PC2 IPv6 address so that I will try to ping it from PC3 for PC4. My mistake. From PC4, let me try to see if I can do that. Ping, paste. Let me see if it is going through or not. It's request timed out. So obviously there is some issue with connectivity. We just found out that PC2 is unable to talk to PC4 and vice versa. So the next thing what we should do is, you can actually type in controls if you don't want to wait, if you know that it's already gone. Okay, so something trace route and paste your PC2s. Even the first hop is not going out. Even the first hop, it's not going out. That means there is an issue with this part itself, okay. So let me see what we are going to do here. Okay, let me see. There is an issue which does not work. So connectivity is not there. Now it is saying to me that where is this PC3? No, I'm sorry, I should have gone part 2. My mistake. I should be in the part 2. So enters the it is asking me click R3. Okay, click on R3, and then it's asking me to show IPv6 interface brief. Enter. So if you compare this values to what you find in your PC4 or in your addressing table, they should match. It says the default gateways are FE80:3, 4:1, :1, 3, :2. Just check those things here, whether the addresses are right or not. You see S0011, the address is right. And if it is at G/0, yes, 4:1. The addresses are configured properly. Now it's time to check your default gateways. What did the default gateway give? I think for our PC4, if you look at it, the default, just let me stop this. Control-C. Yes. For PC4, if you remember correctly, it is given as default gateway is given as FE80:2. Once you write these things down, you will be able to clear identify. But here, the default gateway is FE80:3 because that is the address. This is the address of the given router. So obviously, there is the small change that we need to do here is go here, close this, go to IP configuration, check it out here. See, it's given FE80:2 where it should have been given 3, and close it. Yes, I think we completed this. It's 100%. But just to make sure, let me just try to see ping this if it works or not. So see, the reply is coming back properly. So here, what we did in this particular activity is pretty simple. We first try to see if there is a connectivity between these particular devices, the clients PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, and if there is any issue in the connectivity, then we used our utilities to trace where the problem is. In the first case, we traced it to the path between R1 and R3, that is at R2. There is a problem at R2. In the second case, between PC2 and PC4, we traced that the packets are going properly until R3, whereas from PC4, they are not coming out. That means there is some problem with R3, and we just checked out the addresses configured in R3 to the addresses given in the addressing table, where we are able to find out that there is an issue. So this is how both these utilities are actually used to identify any networking issues or any connectivity issues, both in IPv4 and IPv6 networks. So I hope you understood this. It's a very pretty easy activity, and I suggest each and everyone to do this. But please remember, download Packet Tracer 8.0. The link is given in the comment section. I actually copied the link in all my Packet Tracer activities also, because any CCNA new course, this is only going to take Packet Tracer 8. It is not going to allow Packet Tracer 7.3.2 also to active. So thank you very much.